Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to another Trek Tuesday here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are taking a look at, from the brand new Star Trek Universe line from Playmates Toys, from the classic Star Trek movie series. And again, I will note the horrible creatures they put in their ears, they have determined is the little on top of the chevron there, which is kind of insane. 40th anniversary of Wrath of Khan, obviously one of the greatest science fiction action movies of all time. I feel like I've got to throw action in there because it is, yes, it's science fiction, but it's a different flavor from even the original Star Trek series, in my opinion. What's interesting about this, and I didn't mention this, I reviewed Kirk last week. It doesn't say Star Trek Universe. Oh, wait, here it is. Okay, so it does have the Star Trek Universe logo on the back of the box there. I'm just very excited because I am hoping we will finally get the entire cast of Wrath of Khan in action figure form. That's something I've wanted since I was a little kid. I went and saw this movie with my mom in the theater when I was 6 years old, and it changed my life. I mean, literally, it just blew my mind as to how epic Star Trek could be. I think up until that point, I'd really only seen it on TV. Uh, Although I did see, my parents did take me to see the motion picture, but I have no memory of that. I think the joke I made last time was I fell asleep like everybody else did. I would have only been like 3 years old, but I have vivid memories of this, and especially my mom freaking out over these little guys. So, Khan Noonien Singh comes with a Starfleet phaser, a bowl of SETI eels, although this says Kati eels. I think on the back, yeah, it is correct. It says SETI eels. So got a little misprint on the front there. Then the Genesis control box, and bonus, a Star Trek movie action base. Uh, Bonus, really? I'm not sure how much of a bonus that really is. And on the back, great card back. I really love this. You've got the Enterprise up here, and I love the bright colors on the card. But the Enterprise up here on the top, the golden classic Star Trek logo, and then you have the list of accessories. Starfleet Phaser, the standard weapon issued by Starfleet. The phaser is capable of generating immense energy waves to annihilate a target. A bowl of SETI eels. SETI eels grow inside humanoid brains and inhibit willpower, which lets Khan control his victims. Genesis control box. Stolen by Khan, this is used to target and detonate the Genesis device. And Starfleet action base, stand him up or plug him into the base. Khan is always ready for action. And as we noticed, apparently they just cut and pasted that one because Kirk's card also said Khan is always ready for action. And then we've got a little clip and collect bio, a little file card, if you will. Subject Khan Noonien Singh, species human augment, rank former dictator. Is that really a rank? Assignment exiled to SETI Alpha 5. This is SETI Alpha 5! Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Seeking vengeance on James T. Kirk, superhuman tyrant Khan hijacks a starship, steals the Genesis device, and sets a deadly trap for the crew of the Enterprise. Man, I'm going to have to watch this movie as soon as I'm done with this review. I love this movie so much. Spock is on the way. I will hopefully have another Trek Tuesday next week. But now we got to open up Khan and take a look at this guy, this legendary villain of the small screen and the silver screen. As we know, originally appearing on the original Star Trek show in Space Seed, right? Now that I've said it, I'm like, wait, is that right? Sometimes I'll like stuff will be just in my brain, and I haven't necessarily thought about it specifically in a while, and I'll say something, I'll be like, wait, is that right? And I'll doubt myself and my pop culture knowledge. So if I'm wrong, if it's not Space Seed, you guys let me know in the comments. I know you love doing it. Clip these stupid little plastic strips here. I hate these things. But whatever, it's where we are now. Let's get Khan out of there. Free him from this cell, which is entirely unlike the pod he was in Star Trek. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Lots more detail in this figure than in other Khan figures. Oh, look, the hair doesn't really interfere with the head movement either. That's really nice. Typically, he's in like more. I don't know that this is super accurate because it seems to me there aren't as many colors here as there are in the actual movie costume, but it looks great. But I think a lot of times we'll see Khan in just like some sort of gray pants and a brown shirt. Like there is more painted detail here, well, and sculpted detail than I believe we're used to seeing. Portrait wise, I mean, it's pretty phenomenal. The hair, I think most Khan figures, the hair is just white, which is not accurate. His hair is more silver in the film, and I think they've done a really nice job. I mean, that portrait, I think, looks great. The hair looks great. Done a really nice job here. He's got that. I love the Starfleet. Uh, he's got the logo on the necklace, the little broken piece there. He's got the pecs. Ricardo Montalban's actual, for real, legit pecs. Just lots of sculpted detail on this guy. Very toyetic look to Khan. On the arms, well, articulation wise, I'll go over that again just because this is a new line. The shoulders, we've got kind of a standard swivel or pivot and ball. And then the elbow, if I can find the joint, there we go. The elbow it rotates at the top, and then it's got a pivot with doesn't quite get the 90 degrees there. And then he's got the exposed, like the torn spacesuit look. Looks really good. He's got that glove, that very specific glove that Khan has. Now, this is, you can see a little stress right there at the top of the peg. I'm not going to mess with that anymore. I'm going to pop that right back in there and leave it alone. On the back of the glove, you see a lot of sculpted detail. The fingers here, all of the sculpted detail of these unique gloves is there. But I feel like there should be a little, I don't think they're silver, but I feel like there should be a little gloss maybe on that sculpt, but it still looks great. And another thing, and I mentioned this when we were looking at Kirk, is these are still toys. I am not looking at this line, even though adult collectors are going to be buying it. To me, this is still a toy line because of the scale, because of the price point. These are $14.99 or less. I actually was able to order Kirk, Khan, and Spock for $12.99 from Amazon, although I do believe the MSRP is $14.99. But this is a toy line. And look at this. Those hip joints work really nicely. So this guy can actually sit down in the event that we maybe get some vehicles in this line. Well, we're getting the Enterprise, but it is not scaled to go with the figures because that would be insane, obviously. It's just like the old Playmates line where it's a toy Enterprise. The figures are not meant to interact with. But if we were to get, shuttlecrafts or anything like that, these figures can actually sit down in them, which is nice. The hip joints, just sort of a standard ball jointed hip. The knees, got a nice 90-degree bend there with a swivel at the top of the knee. And then the ankles, I was a little surprised by this, just a rotate and a pivot. They're kind of the opposite of modern ankles where the peg goes into the foot and you actually get a rotation where it meets. Here, the rotation is at the top of the peg, kind of old school, but I mean, not bad. And again, like I said, I am still looking at this as a toy line, as much as I'm collecting it. And it's a weird thing to explain or to try to explain, but there's value to me in something being an actual toy as opposed to a collector figure, a posable statue. There are different categories of toys and collectibles. And I appreciate things that are cool, that look cool, like this figure does, but are still toys. So I'm very happy with this guy. Let's take a look. Oh, and if you're wondering, like, hey, why aren't you putting up reference shots of the costume from the movie or anything like that? You guys can look that up if you want. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to look at this and see if I look at it and go, you know what, that looks like Khan. I am not a guy who needs every single little detail to be exactly what it is, especially in a toy line. Uh, so I want to look at it and think, man, does this properly represent to my memory what Khan Noonien Singh looks like? And yes, it does. Very cool. Great Khan feel. Look, you can even see the sculpted the ties on the back of his pants. Tons of great detail in this guy. I really, really love it. All right. So let's compare him to the original Playmates line. This is Chekhov, who you might know has some interaction with Khan and Wrath of Khan, and hopefully we'll get that version of Chekhov in the spacesuit and just in his Starfleet. Well, I don't know that we see him in his Starfleet suit in Wrath of Khan. He might just be in the spacesuit. But anyway, you can see these are taller and proportioned very differently from the original Playmates line. So while Chekhov stands just under 5 inches tall, Khan is just at 5 inches tall. So these new figures do not work with the original Playmates line, which I'm okay with because to me this is kind of a middle ground between modern action figures and that Playmates line. So it has, in a way, that aesthetic, but is something different. I don't know. I dig it. I like new exciting things, and that's what this line is to me thus far. All right, let's take a look at those accessories. He has his Starfleet action base, which is a little on the small side, in my opinion. Oh, that's funny. So this is an identification number, but on the old line, they would actually be numbered. Oh, this one doesn't have it because it's part of a box set. In the old line, the figures would have numbers that were literally the production run of the figure because that was one of the selling points. So he has to have kind of a narrow stance to fit on there. It works okay, or you can put him on there sideways if you want to. If the stand, and this is crazy for me to say because I generally don't even like action figure stands, but I do feel like this stand needs to be a little bit bigger to be worth your time. Next up, we have got the remote control for the Genesis device. Very, very simple, very much in line with the old Playmates line. Nothing interactive here. The cylinders that he pushes in, nothing moves, nothing's painted. It's just silver plastic sculpted the right way, and I'm okay with that because again, this is a toy line, so it looks cool. I would like to have an actual Genesis device to play with, though. We've got the Star Trek phaser. It is the same one that came with Admiral Kirk. Looks great. Lots of sculpted detail. I like it. Let's see if this fits in Khan's hand better than it fit in Kirk's hand. Because Kirk's, it was not a great fit. And he couldn't seem to aim it very well. Yeah, it kind of just angles down. Just the way that they've designed the hands, because they have the hands like this rather than like this. So it just angles everything that they hold downward. I don't love it. I would like to see that design change up a little bit. Or, you need to give a more severe angle where the handle connects to the top of the phaser, something there. We have, let's see, now he won't even stand up on that base. The bowl of SETI eels. Again, no paint. It's just a one-color accessory because this is a toy line. And then the little wand or whatever the fork he uses to take the SETI eels out of the tank. I wish this came with the tank with the mama eel. But as it is, we're just going to have to make do with picking one of these little guys up and putting it right in Chekhov's ear. What do you think of that, Chekhov? All right. There's my little bit of action figure theater for the day. Okay, so there he is, Khan Noonien Singh on his tiny little Starfleet action stand with his accessories. I love it. I want the rest of the cast. I'm happy with this. Would I love to have a larger scale collector oriented line? Yes, I would. Will I buy it if I've already bought these? Yes, I will. Like I said, I love that movie. I love Star Trek. So there you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Come back, the rest of the week for more toy reviews. Next week for another Trek Tuesday with Spock. And thanks for watching.
From hell's heart, I stab at thee.
Smash that like button if you like needless things.